Hi Internet, I'm Tango, and these are Tango's Takes. It's Guild Wars 2 week as Guild Wars celebrates its 9th anniversary. This is my Mesmer, Rook from Mindfang. The take for today, where are we? Thursday, August 26, 2021? Bring something unexpected. If Guild Wars 2 brought something unexpected to the world of MMORPGs by attempting to eliminate the traditional trinity, well then, you're going to love what they've done with individual characters. Mesmers here are one of the light armor classes. They focus on illusions and causing continuous damage and maybe even sustaining the illusions to distract an enemy. So if I run over here, well, they targeted the wrong one. They're going to hit it. Now I'm in a low level area. Illusions are inherently weaker than I am, but I'm not taking damage. And if I want to, I can give it another friend. Phantasms are, well, they've changed them a bit. They eventually redirect into a normal illusion. They do more damage, but they do so in a burst. And now I have a friend because, well, my illusion walked off. I can also even break my illusions, but this isn't unexpected in Guild Wars 2. What Guild Wars 2 did with each and every class is give them a weapon that did something a bit unexpected or seemed out of place. The warriors, here's a main hand sword, here's an axe, here's a bow, here's a rifle? Rifles were odd for the original warrior class. They seemed out of place. The paladin substitute, the guardian. Guardians are passive healers. They're tanks. They like to be in melee. They heal themselves and others, and they provide boons around them. Unexpected is guardians on a mid-range mode holding a scepter. It just doesn't feel normal. And eventually, when they got an elite specialization, the Dragon Hunter, Guardians got a longbow and traps. What? It works out. The third heavy armor specialization, well, it's called a Revenant. It was added late. It was added with the first expansion, and honestly, the strangest thing you'll find with that is it uses a hammer. Okay, heavy guy with a hammer doesn't sound weird. The hammer is a ranged weapon. Your character literally throws this giant two-handed hammer across the battlefield, and it goes out and it comes back. It's very slow, don't get me wrong, but it works that way. If we look through the mid-weight classes, the Ranger's odd weapon doesn't get weird until you... I'm not even sure it ever really gets as weird as it could be. When the Ranger specializes as a Druid, they get a staff. When they specialize as a Beast Hunter, I've forgotten what they get, in all honesty. I'd have to look it up again. But Rangers can have both great swords and normal swords. Their weapons mostly made sense until you got underwater. There are 3 underwater weapons in the game. A harpoon gun, a trident, and a spear. The Rangers got the spear and the harpoon gun. It feels out of place to have a Ranger use any sort of chemically induced projectile weapon. Rogues, all of the rogues' weapons make sense at this point in time. They really do. Rogues are unexpectedly good at providing mobility support when they finally pick up especially when they finally pick up the Daredevil specialization, where you can increase your allies' abilities to dodge. Ooh, I'm going to answer something in chat. Sorry, someone's having fun with the world's most painful jumping puzzle on this map. I lost my train of thought there for a moment. I'm sorry. Engineers. Engineers with pistols, rifles. Engineers actually don't start with a lot of weapons because their ability is to switch to toolkits. They eventually, though, engineers unlock an offhand shield and can throw it around like Captain America. What? The light classes, like my Mesmer here, get a little bit more interesting. Every single one, all three of them, the Mesmer, the Necromancer, and the Elementalist offer some sort of melee functionality. In fact, the Elementalist dual dagger initial ability doesn't actually seem that weird when you watch it and play because it tends to give you a lot of mobility. Though it is a bit weird to work with, and most people didn't play it when it first came out. The weird one for me for Elementalists was when they picked up the Warhorn as a specialization as a Tempest. Necromancers. I want you to understand that Necromancers finally get a pistol specialization in the upcoming release. But until then, Necromancer with an axe always seemed a bit weird to me. It's unexpected. It's not how you're prepared to deal with it. Mesmers, though. Mesmers have had something weird since day one. I'm running around with a main hand sword and an offhand focus. The focus lets me drop things on the ground that can pull people around. I can speed it up. It's how I produce the little whirling axe guy, because Mesmers don't get axes until a specialization. But this is a big sword. And you might think, really? The Mesmer needs a meta melee weapon if you don't know? But no. It's a ranged laser. By bringing something unexpected to the table and forcing your enemies, especially early on in the game when people didn't know what the weapons did very well, to account for weight that does what, by forcing your players to learn to think differently about how to use certain things, you create a group of people that are better adaptive to circumstances. Granted, that works both for you and your enemies if the enemies are done well, especially the live players. The NPCs, well, not so much. They just hone in on whatever's annoying them and you can generally distract them. The point here, in what has been the longest take in the Guild Wars 2 weeks so far, is by bringing up unexpected or approaching something common and recognizable in an unexpected fashion, you give yourself flexibility and you throw any sort of opposition you have into a recovery state. They're going to learn it, don't get me wrong, but by putting them off balance, you are giving yourself an advantage. Make sense? Stay safe and healthy out there, folks, and I'll catch you all next time.